It's a seriously precarious time for Hollywood as a whole. While there are certainly shows which seem to have weathered the current period of uncertainty well enough, there are many that, for one reason or another, seem to be basically doomed in their next season. Delays, fan backlashes, allegations of abusive sets, and so much more all threaten the futures of these shows as they gear up for their next season. So let's dive in. I'm Adam, this is What Culture, and here are 10 upcoming TV seasons that are already doomed. Number 10. Stranger Things Season 5. The fifth and final season of Stranger Things was initially expected for a probable 2024 release, yet with the Writers Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild strikes currently bringing Hollywood to a standstill, Season 5's production has been delayed. The delays do create a unique problem for the show given the ages of the central cast members. Namely, it's becoming increasingly difficult to believe them as high schoolers and young adults alike. This problem already reared its head in Season 4, which was delayed extensively due to the pandemic, resulting in most of the young cast members aging noticeably between Seasons 3 and 4, which was set just 6 months apart. While the Duffer Brothers have stated that Season 5 will likely involve a time jump, even this has limitations given that Season 4 ended on a cliffhanger, limiting the amount of time the show can realistically leap forward without seeming unnatural. It seems nigh on unavoidable that Season 5 will feature some miraculous storytelling ingenuity to deliver a lengthy Avengers Endgame-esque time jump that doesn't leave fans feeling a little shortchanged. Number 9. SNOWPIERCER Season 4. Snowpiercer's fourth season was announced to be its last while it was being shot, but this past January, several months after production wrapped, network TNT announced that they wouldn't be airing the seasons at all. It was consequently revealed that this was due to TNT's parent company, Warner Bros. Discovery, attempting to cut costs, deciding to take a tax write-off instead of broadcasting the episodes. Though at this time it was said that production company Tomorrow Studios was attempting to shop the final season to other networks. 6 months since the announcement, there's been no formal announcement about Snowpiercer's new home. Knowing that the batch of episodes are just sitting in limbo on hard drive somewhere is extremely frustrating. All the same, even if the matter is resolved in due course, the huge chasm of time between seasons pretty much ensures that only the die-hard Snowpiercer fans are going to stick around to see how it all wraps up. Considering that the show's ratings were already nosediving throughout Season 3, there's not much hope for Season 4's viewership, no matter how good it might be. Number 8. EUPHORIA Season 3. It feels like EUPHORIA's third season is basically cursed. The second season already suffered through considerable delays due to the pandemic, followed by extensive allegations of a toxic work environment. All the same, HBO renewed the acclaimed teen drama series for a third season in February 2022, with shooting scheduled to begin this past February. However, filming was delayed due to the second half of 2023 for unspecified reasons, until the ongoing Hollywood strikes further pushed production back, possibly meaning that Season 3 won't begin shooting until early 2024. With it being highly possible that the third season doesn't air until 2025 at the earliest, it may simply be a case of too much time passing, as this will mark around 3 years since the end of Season 2. Beyond that, stars Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney's movie careers are taking flight, and with creator Sam Levinson's critically panned new show The Idol bringing HBO all the wrong sorts of publicity, it wouldn't surprise many if Season 3 never even went before cameras. Number 7. Severance Season 2. The first season of Apple's sci-fi show Severance was such a startling, confident breath of fresh air that there was every reason to believe Season 2 would be the smoothest of smooth sailing. And yet, reports emerged earlier this year that filming on the second season was hampered by a creative fallout between showrunners Dan Erickson and Mark Friedman, resulting in an allegedly toxic work environment. These issues apparently began during production of Season 1, and though Friedman initially intended to walk away before the second season, executive producer and director Ben Stiller convinced him to stay. The report also notes that these issues have caused the show's already substantial per-episode budget to increase. Though Apple and Stiller understandably refuted the reports, that doesn't mean they aren't true. Furthermore, Season 2 didn't complete filming before the strikes began, and so considering that the show's first season finished airing in April of 2022, there could potentially be upwards of 2 years between seasons. That large gap could end up being the kiss of death. Number 6. Echo. It's not unfair to say that the deck is stacked against Marvel Studios' new series, Echo. After all, when the titular superhero was introduced in the Hawkeye series in late 2021, was anyone left hankering for a standalone series centered around the character? Beyond that, it didn't help that reports suggested production on the series has been anything but smooth, with much of the season apparently being reshot due to behind-the-scenes issues. And to top it all off, this will mark the first Disney Plus MCU series where the entire season is being dropped all at once, which some have interpreted as implying that Disney has little faith in the end product, and is basically quickly burning it off in order to be done with it. Given that even Secret Invasion of all things is struggling to maintain an audience, what chance does Echo possibly have, even with appearances from Daredevil and Kingpin? Number 5. Citadel Season 2. Amazon's spy thriller series Citadel is an absolute festival of mistakes, to the eye-watering tune of $300 million no less. Indeed, its first season ended up costing substantially more than your average Marvel Cinematic Universe movie due to large portions of the 6-episode season being reshot following a change in creative direction during post-production. And had Citadel been a ratings juggernaut for Amazon, then it might have all been worth it. But it's clear that even the most easily pleased of audiences weren't interested in it. All the same, Amazon is going full speed ahead with Season 2, with Joe Russo set to direct every episode once the strikes are over, while the streamer is also planning spin-off series set in the Italian Alps, India, Spain, and Mexico. Needless to say, it seems like Amazon is basically setting money on fire with this show. That is, producing a generic espionage series that's failed to strike a chord, and in continuing on with their plans for a Citadel universe, refusing to accept that it didn't connect. Number 4. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. On paper, Disney's new adaptation of Rick Riordan's fantasy novel series Percy Jackson and the Olympians just might fulfill the potential that the previous Percy Jackson movies didn't. The first season has already been shot and is set to release next year, but given that the series made a fuss out of casting age-appropriate actors for the central characters, compared to the movies where they were aged up by several years, and there are just 3 years between the first and the last book, any delays in filming are going to result in some Stranger Things-esque aging problems. With the first season wrapping shooting back in February and Season 2 possibly not starting filming until next year, the young cast members are going to unavoidably age, as may frustrate fans who hope the show would stick to a tight season-per-year schedule to prevent the passage of time becoming a distraction. This, of course, is without even considering whether or not the series is actually successful on Disney Plus or not. Number 3. YELLOWJACKETS Season 3. Though YELLOWJACKETS' second season was a solid ratings hit for Showtime, the fan response was wildly polarized, with many feeling that it marked a step down in quality from the first and indicated that the creative simply didn't have a compelling direction mapped out. Between the utterly meandering present-day adult storyline and highly questionable death of a certain character in the Season 2 finale, to some it became clear that a serious rethink would be needed for Season 3. And while on one hand the strikes may buy the writers time to consider the response to Season 2 and rejig their Season 3 plans, it's also likely that a delayed third season simply causes many viewers to flat out lose interest, in turn putting the show's future in doubt. Number 2. The Witcher Season 4. The Witcher's days were numbered the second that Netflix announced that Henry Cavill was exiting the hit fantasy series, and that from the 4th season onward, the role of Geralt of Rivia would instead be played by Liam Hemsworth. And with that, it's a damn near certainty that all but the most committed Witcher fans will bounce off the show without its original leading man. Given that even the recently released Cavill star in third season suffered a brutal ratings dip from season 2, it's clear that interest in the series is beginning to wane, perhaps in part due to Netflix announcing Cavill's departure and replacement so early. While it's been rumoured that Netflix may end up shooting seasons 4 and 5 back to back, don't be shocked if plans change during the ongoing strikes. And after the first Hemsworth starring season potentially flops in ratings, the streamer decides to cut their losses and call it a day. Number 1. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Netflix's long-awaited live-action adaptation of beloved animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender is finally due to drop next year. And while everybody wants to believe this thing will be a Sandman-level success, it's tough to fully believe it. Even if you can accept that it wrapped shooting over a year ago and we've barely seen anything beyond a few promo images, the fact that the series' original creators, Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, quit as showrunners due to creative differences is incredibly concerning. That the duo called out Netflix for creating a negative and unsupporting environment doesn't set an encouraging tone from the jump. Because of those behind the source material ended up being shut out, can there really be that much hope? While it's unlikely to plumb the depths of M. Night Shyamalan's infamously terrible movie adaptation of the animated series, don't be shocked if this falls flat on its face before being quietly cancelled mere weeks after release. And there we have it folks, our list of 10 upcoming TV seasons that are already doomed. Make sure you let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and while you're there, give us a like and a cheeky subscribe. If you want to follow me on socials, I am at Strawn87 on Twitter and on Instagram. You can come and say hello to me on there. Thank you for watching everyone, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your month, and until next time, take care.